this brand new episode, we are going to have some special guests from Distroller, a Mexican company which wants to enter Japanese market. The dynamic for this episode will show a group of Distroller employees presenting their international strategy to the company's founder and CEO, Amparo Serrano, and the CFO, Emma Gomez.
Hi, my name is Amparo Serrano, and I'm the founder of Distroller. I'm really excited to listen to your proposal.
Hello! As you already know, we work for Distroller and we're here to present you
a strategy that will not only make you money, but will also make you transcontinental.
Hope you enjoy it!
Distroller is a Mexican company that focuses on tradition and culture. Their main characteristics are the use of very colorful and original designs that represent the folklore of our country. Distroller managed to create a world of joy and humor. An icon of youth and irreverence, they communicate how they see the extraordinary in the ordinary.
The presence of the company has been expanding in a few past years, expanding to USA, Colombia, Chile, and soon to Peru. Distroller has three main brands that are Chamoy and Amiguis, Neonatos, and Virgencita Bliss.
Japan is an island country in East Asia. The country is divided into 47 prefectures and unofficially into 8 regions, with Hokkaido being the northernmost prefecture and Okinawa being the southernmost prefecture. The population of approximately 126 million people is the world's 11th largest. About 13.8 million people live in Tokyo, the capital of Japan. The Greater Tokyo area is the most populous metropolitan area in the world, with over 38 million people. Japan is a highly developed country, with a very high standard of living and Human Development Index. Its population enjoys one of the highest life expectancies and the third lowest infant mortality rate in the world. Japan benefits from a highly skilled and educated workforce. It has among the world's largest proportion of citizens holding a tertiary education degree. Japan is renowned for its striking art, historical and extensive cinema, influential music industry, manga, anime, video gaming, and rich cuisine, and its major contributions to science and modern technology. Japan is the third largest national economy in the world, after the United States and China, in terms of nominal GDP, and the fourth largest national economy in the world, after the United States, China, and India, in terms of purchasing power parity.
Let's talk a little bit more detail about Japan. One of the most important aspects of the Japanese culture comes around the word kawaii. Kawaii means very cute or that has a kind look. This attribute is used a lot in different industries in Japan, from kids' toys to government parties. Considering the importance of this attribute, we think that the Distroller designs may fit perfectly in the Japanese target. Also, it was really easy to design the product line, the Neonato babies, since the other lines have really strong Mexican characters such as Virgencita Bliss and Chamoy Amigas.
The toy market in Japan is worth more than $736 billion annually. So this gives us a big and massive opportunity to enter into the market. By having this information, we're planning to go with the Neonato, that is our product, and also with license. For the license are going to help us to the distribution because Uniqlo is going to handle our products and also have the opportunity to have our designs. And also, well, for the first year, our primary objective is that to reach most as we can of the market share because it's huge, and I don't think that establishing 1% is going to be a realistic data. So in order to that, our segmentation it's going to be D, D plus, C, and C plus. in women and children from the communities. But also we are planning to have the top of mind in the most people we can, because well, as being part of Uniqlo, it's going to be in almost every part of Tokyo. So this will give us a bigger opportunity to expand and create awareness of our brand.
Now I know what you're thinking. This idea sounds great. I want to sell my product in Japan. What an exotic and great country. However, how am I supposed to do this? Well, that's part of the distribution, and now I'm going to go a little bit more into detail regarding that. So, the way we plan it for it to be the most effective, efficient, and profitable, of course, is to go into joint venture with giant retail clothing stores, Uniqlo. The way this will work is, in order for us to sell our dolls, our neonato dolls, in their stores, we will start by achieving a joint venture with them so that they offer us shelving, promotion and a sales force that will impulse buyers into acquiring neonato dolls inside Uniqlo stores. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why would Uniqlo agree to this? Are we gonna give them money? Well, not exactly. What we're gonna do is sort of a swap. We're gonna give them the rights, as in licensing, in order for them to print out Distroller imagery and branding designs into their shirts so that they can sell them and, of course, keep the profits and fiscal responsibilities regarding. And in exchange, they will sell Distroller dolls, such as neonatos, in their stores with all the profits belonging to Distroller and, of course, the fiscal responsibilities of the sale revenue from said dolls belonging to Distroller as well. That is the more detailed explanation of how we are going to distribute neonatos in Japan in the first few years of this operation.
I'm going to talk about more detail about our communication strategy. Our communication strategy is going to start first with a mix of advertising, having ATL, BTL, and TTL. The TTL is because we're going to be more directly to internet and social media, so we're planning a more digital campaign. But we are also having the BTL and ATL. The BTL is going to be well like experiences, activities that we're going to do in the streets, creating like the image of being a fun company that will be in the presence of your life. And so to the ATL, we're going to go with the most traditional ways that are the billboards, but in Japan they have electronic billboards that are very sophisticated and in points very uh, populated. So this will help us to get into a bigger top of mind. So first we're going to be the promotion. Well, for the promotion, it's basically to create awareness because we're a new brand into the country. And well, this help us with the direct selling that it's Uniqlo that will give the perception of the products to the consumers that it's of quality because Uniqlo it's a high quality brand in that country and in the world. And finally, for our communication strategy, the PR is the most important thing because it's going to be the impact with the people. So for the first year, we're going to have well all the campaign three steps. For the first year, it's going to be eco-friendly image with the products that will say that are produced and don't contaminate into the world. And the second step is going to be in the end of the between first and second year. It's going to be of presence in the hospitals that will improve our social image because we're caring of children with sickness. And finally, for the third year, we're planning to establish a more strong impact to the social media because one of the most important sickness in Japan is work stress, and this is the first cause of most deaths in all the country. Each year, more than 10,000 people die because of this. So, in order to that, we're going to establish some percentage of the sales to the community to help relieve your stress of work.
Well, now I'm going to talk to you about the market research. Our main objectives are to understand the perception of the product and reach final statements of the viability of bringing it into Japan. Then, limit to a specific segmentation of the target market, and finally, decide a specific price to enter into market considering the factors of quality and engagement. Then for this, we are going to use some instruments, qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative are going to be direct observations in 4 specific points in Tokyo, which are Shibuya, Harajuku, Ginza, and Shinjuku. Then, in these same places, we're going to realize focus groups to analyze what is going on with our product, how they see it, and if they like it. Then, in the quantitative tools, we're going to do some online and face-to-face surveys so we can gather much more information, like specifically in a demographic way.
Now, you may be wondering how we're going to accomplish all of our goals. First of all, let me tell you that we're going to have a constant monitoring and weekly meetings to check if we're getting to all of our KPIs. So, our first goal is going to be establishing a joint venture with Uniqlo. We're going to negotiate all of the things involved, and our team is going to take care of this joint venture to enter Japan market. The second goal is to launch our first designed Uniqlo t-shirts. And this goal is going to be in February 2020. We're going to have sales program to support our sales. And we're going to support that with an advertising campaign which will run from February, the date that we launch our shirts, till April. This is going to be a win-win because Japanese people are going to get familiarized with our designs, with our characters, with all of Distroyer's branded products. So they're going to see both the advertising campaign in billboards, the online campaign, which is going to be in social media and in our web page, and they're going to see all the art in the shirts. So this is going to be really like a massive campaign going on, and people are going to get familiarized and feel the brand as if it were Japanese. Now, for our fourth objective is going to be, after people know about the brand and about our designs, our fourth objective is to start selling neonatal dolls in the Uniqlo stores. This objective is going to run from approximately July 2020, and an advertising campaign is going to accompany it as well. The advertising campaign will run from July, the date that the product is launched, till September 2020. All right, so we're going to have an advertising campaign in billboards. We're going to have a BTL campaign in the point of purchase in the Uniqlo stores with things that incentivize the purchase of the product of the neonatal doll. And we're also going to have online campaign in social media, and we're going to have the engagement consideration, which leads to trial in our web page as well. So we're going to have an online purchase as well, which can lead more people into our web page. So that's another objective. After having all these objectives that I have previously mentioned, in 3 years, after all this is running, we're going to get to our break-even point, and then we're going to start earning profit. With all of this said, we plan opening in 5 years, in March of 2023, the first flagship store for Distroyer in Tokyo, Japan. This store is planned to be financed by our own revenue from all the activities that are going to be taken care of in Japan. So these are really challenging goals, but we think that we can really accomplish it with the team we have and with all the strategies that we have. As I have previously mentioned, we're going to constantly be monitoring all these goals, all the KPIs, if they're going to be weekly checkups, if there's any problem. Our team is going to be really proactive and considering all the variables that could vary.
All right, now let's talk about financials. Perhaps not the most dynamic subject, but definitely one of the most important ones because money, profits, that's what we'll want. That's what we're doing is in the first place. All right, so now let's talk about budget. How did we distribute it? Well, we segmented it into two main parts. Manufacturing and transportation costs, what we'll need to have the doll in exposure in Japan, and marketing investment. Now, the budget that you're seeing right now in the handout that was given to you is only for year one, since the project will be able to finance itself starting year two. For the manufacturing process, it's 9 million pesos, and for the marketing process, it's 15.5 million pesos. Right, now, regarding how much we'll sell. For the first year, we have a sales forecast of 30,000 donatulos with a sale price of 4,950 yen, which in total comes around 150 million yen, which is a very nice sum. Now, if we take all of the costs, expenses, and taxes into account, we still have a profit margin. However, due to the high marketing costs for year one, the profit and total revenue is kind of minuscule. Well, not minuscule perhaps, but two is kind of small. However, starting year two and onwards, growth is quite nice, especially year two, since marketing costs go down a bit and sales go up due to volume. We have a growth of 20% total, and that becomes very constant each year, right? Which is very attractive. Now let's talk numbers. KPIs. Payback period is 3.12 years, which means that by year number 3 completed, and perhaps a month or two, you'll have all the money you invested back, and from then onwards, it's all profit. Now, net present value, which means how much money would I have today if the investment works. Now that would leave us in a 5-year plan at 8.5 million pesos, which is a very nice sum to have. It's a great margin. An internal rate of return of 25%, which is 10 points above our weighted average cost of capital, which means that we're doing good business. Alright guys, now finally, let's talk about control. How will we make sure that what we plan and that the strategies we planted are being followed and that whatever it is we're doing in Japan is working and making money? Well, through our tactics for control. Now we have 3 main ways of controlling the outcome of the operation. First is through the SAP system, which is what we're going to use to place the orders from Japan to the manufacturing plant in Mexico for us to control the shipments, track them, and make sure that they are getting to where they are supposed to be getting. Second is through a key account manager system. Now, how will the key account manager or CAMs work? Well, they will be assigned a specific geographical area that includes several stores in Tokyo and then Japan, and they will be in charge of monitoring shipments, sales, daily of course, promotions, plans, sales force, everything that needs to do with the selling and transactions of our product. Also, they have to make sure that the plans and strategies we're planting are working. And lastly, quarterly, we'll have meetings with all of the CAMs, or key account managers, and upper management in order to review how we did the past trimester, sales, shares, and everything regarding, as well as planting new strategies, adapting old ones, and making sure that all of the market necessities are met.
Thank you for listening our presentation.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Bye!
This episode was presented by Universidad Panamericana.